thank you for being here and supporting the channel. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe to the channel. We are growing by leaps and bounds. So that means that you guys like the content, and that is awesome. So Trending Thursday is all about what's happening in the news. We cover everything from what's going on in the market and how to trade the market to what stocks are making news. We know that gold is making news, oil is making news, coronavirus is making news. We always get started with what's going on in the market. So we're going to pay attention to what's going on in the VectorVest software. I'm going to pull up the home page of the VectorVest software. And for those of you who are not subscribers, I'm going to invite you to take a trial. In a minute, Joey's going to put the link in the room to take advantage of a VectorVest trial if you're not a subscriber, okay? And take it. And at least if you like it, you'll keep it. If you don't, you won't. I'm not going to try to sell you anything in here, all right? So if you like it, keep the trial. If you don't keep it, all right? There it is. But this is the home page of the VectorVest software. And the biggest thing that we do is we time the market. We keep our subscribers on the right side of the market. So if there's any new people in here that really believe that you cannot time the market, I'm here to tell you that when we time the market, we don't guess at what the market's going to do tomorrow. We are trend followers, and we stay on the right side of the trend of the market. So as I look at this home page, I can tell you that with all of our indices today, where are they at? Dang it. They're all up. All of the major indices are up. The Dow, the NASDAQ, the S&P 1 in 500, and our VectorVest composite. For new people, what is that? The VectorVest composite is an indexed arithmetic averages of all of the stocks that we track. And currently we track 8,179 stocks. So when you say the market moves, you say the Dow is up today 100 points. So the Dow says that the market's moving. The NASDAQ is up about 0.1%. We say the market's moving up. The S&P is up about 0.2%. Hey, the market's moving up. But we have an indicator that looks at all of these stocks and then some in the VectorVest composite. It tracks the move of almost 8,200 stocks in one ticker symbol. And because of that, we feel that it's a better representation of the broad market movement, all right? So all of the major indices, to include the VectorVest composite, are moving up today. Our daily traffic light into the market is one tick into the green, all right? And when you get to a green light, what do? Joey likes to go super fast in his truck. Me, I have a Ford Excursion. I pull away from the light slowly, not Joey. Joey just wants to, and he's got a Chevy. He's got, ugh. Anyway, today, one tick into the green, VectorVest advocates caution when buying stocks at this time. Well, why do we advocate caution? Remember, from a market timing perspective, why would we? Well, we have a more extensive color guard or a more extensive graphic that looks at what's going on in the market. Notice that this is looking at the last 6 trading days. Over the last 6 trading days, we track the movements of that VectorVest composite, the RT of the market, which is the short-term price trend of the market, and the BSR of the market, which looks at the market's overall health. We are the only system out there that does look at the health of the market. We track all of these indicators on both the day-over-day and week-over-week basis to assign colors. If the color is red, that means that indicator on that day went down on a week-over-week and day-over-day basis. Yellow means that the data was mixed. It either went up on a week-over-week and down on a day-over-day, or down on a week-over-week and up on a day-over-day, something along those lines to give us the yellow lights. Green lights means that the market has gone up, or that indicator has gone up on both a week-over-week and day-over-day basis. So if I'm looking at the last 6 trading days, we've got a mishmash of colors, red, yellow, and green. To the red, the yellow, and the green. Who did that? That was way back in the day. It was another rap group. You don't remember, do you? Anyway, oh man, I forget. Somebody in the room might know it, but it's to the red, the yellow, and the green. Anyway, so with that being said, we've got a mixture of all of these colors going on. The market is having a hard time making up its mind in which direction it truly wants to go. So that's why we advocate caution. The color guard tells us to be cautious in the market. And with all of that, how do you invest in the market right now? You play the market as it goes. This is more of a trader's market where we're up one day, down one day, up one day, down one day. It's hard to be a longer term investor in this current market's conditions. So given all of that information, let's watch from a news perspective What's making the market look this way? All right. So I'm going to go out to our first story, which always covers the news.
I'm getting X-Clan and Steel Pulse.
X-Clan, there it is. That's what it was. No, it wasn't Steel Pulse. It was, I told you somebody was going to get it. To the red, the green, and the red. The red, the green, and the yellow. The red, the black. Yeah, something like that. That was X-Clan. I knew somebody was going to come. Was that Kareem? Is Kareem here? Was that Kareem? Stephen Williams. All right. So I knew that somebody was going to. It was X-Clan. I knew somebody would get it. Anyway, let's go to the first story because we always talk about the three things that move markets. What moves markets globally? Earnings, interest, and inflation. That's it in a nutshell. All right. Earnings, interest, and inflation. So what is going on from an earnings perspective? Companies, we're in a new earnings season right now. Some companies are missing, some companies are making, and sometimes companies are making their earnings, but the forward guidance brings the stock's price down. I don't have an indicator that looks at forward guidance, but I do have an indicator called relative safety that looks at the stock's probability and consistency to make or meet their earnings expectations. But what is the government doing in the midst of all of this pandemic? All right, we all know that the pandemic is hurting people. Jobs report came out this morning. Another 4.4 million people lost their jobs. We're up to 26 million people out of work. That's a lot of people out of work, folks. But that's to be expected when we're at stay at home. Small businesses not able to keep businesses open, so they're laying off people. So emergency grant to small businesses averages about $4,300 per business. Now, the first stimulus that went out to the small businesses, people like Ruth's Crisp got money. They got a lot of money. What happened to the small business people? People like Shake Shack got money, but they gave their money back. What happened to the small business? And you know something? I saw another news story that said that this money that's in that grant for the small businesses is going to go just like that, because there's a lot of businesses that are going to be putting in money or putting in loans to keep themselves afloat. So just keeping that in perspective. New applications have been suspended due to oversubscription. 4 million businesses have applied. That's a lot of people who are out of work trying to get into that stimulus. All right, scrolling down a little bit, the small business loan program designed to keep workers employed is out of money. And some Main Street businesses owners hit by the coronavirus pandemic says that it simply isn't enough to keep their businesses alive in the first place. But we're putting a lot of money out there. The federal government has issued emergency grants totaling $3.29 billion to 755,000 small businesses. All right. Along with loans worth $5.7 billion to nearly 27,000 businesses, according to the data released this week. So the Fed, the government, has opened up all the spigots that they could or that they can to keep the economy afloat while everybody's being laid off. Next one. Looking at economy week ahead, jobless claims, U.S. home sales, PMI. And this was done yesterday, a few days ago, prior to the jobless claims coming out. Indicators this week are expected to show more economic fallout from the new coronavirus and efforts to contain it. So that was just from the jobless claims. Home report's going to come out. Home sales, PMI are all due to come out before the end of the week. And we only got one more day. And we're going to see what's going on with those. But everything is pulling heavily on the market to the downside. Indicators show the fallout. Japan releases March trade data. Economists expect exports to have fallen as the coronavirus disrupted supply chains and cut overseas demand. All right, so those are some of the things that are affecting the market. Now let's go see what it looks like on a graph within the program. We're going to go back to the VectorVest software. Go back, is that here? Yeah. But now we're going to go to the market timing graph. All right, down below, market timing graph. This is the market. This is the movement of the over 8,100 stocks in the market, shown here in candlesticks on the VectorVest market timing graph. This is COVID-19. The coronavirus hits. We got our subscribers out of the market way earlier before this. All right, if you're not a subscriber, then man, this was an excellent opportunity for you to get out. We've been preaching about this for the longest time. It's etched in stone. It's in our literature. It's in our daily newsletters every night where we got our customers out. Well, that's past. That's history. What's going on now? Looks like we might have found the bottom here on March 23rd of 2020. All right, after all of this has happened, stimulus has come in, the whole 9 yards, market's moving. What's the market doing right now? All right, I can't see the chat, but what's the market doing now for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 days? Last 2 trading weeks. Let me zoom into there. Last 2 trading weeks, what's the market doing? Market's moving sideways. Does that not add credence to the homepage that we saw on the VectorVest software that this was a time to be cautious? Markets up a day, down a day, up a day, down a day, up a day, up a day, down a day, down a day, up a day, up a day. Look at today's activity. We have an open candle. Look at the wick at the top of the candle. That is a lot of selling pressure. And you know what that candlestick pattern is known as? It's known as a shooting star. Whereas the price has risen from the open, not a lot. The opening price was $40.99 on the VectorVest composite. The price right now is at $41.02. So we've only gone up like 3 cents on the composite today. And look at the big wick, a lot of selling pressure on the VectorVest composite. What does that mean? As an investor in the market, this is a time to be cautious. The market's not moving up, the market's not moving down. This is a trader's market. As a trader, you take advantage of the good days. When the market's up, you buy stocks long. When the market's down, you play the market to the downside. As a swing trader, as a longer term investor, it's tough to be in this kind of market and try to make consistent gains when you're up one day and you give it all back. All right, I'm going to close that out and I'm going to go to our watch list of stocks. You didn't open up my watch list. Oh, there it is. Go to the viewers, watch list viewer, go to trending Thursday. Today is 4/23. Here's the stocks that we're going to cover today. And I'm going to look at the 2 that we cover specifically for the market. One is the VVC, which we just looked at. And the other one, for those of you who are not subscribers, many of you will look at the spiders. So let's look at the both of these to see what's really truly going on in the market. I've got them highlighted. And now I'm going to right click, pull up a stock graph, pull this over. Here's the spiders. Same kind of scenario. S&P 500. A little bit in the sideways pattern right now. I've got a 20-day exponential moving average where it shows that the spiders went across, went up. But where did it get stopped at? Tom, type it in the room. Got stopped right at a level of resistance. This is why I'm always going to look at support and resistance on a graph to help me gauge where I am. Where I know what I'm looking for before I start to jump back into the market. Let's make sure the market, even on the spiders, gets above that level of resistance. It gives me more clear room to move up. Go back to the VectorVest composite. Also above that 20-day exponential moving average. Here's that indicator RT moving higher as the market's moving higher. RT looks at the short-term price trend of the market. I would like to see it above the value of 1, showing that the market is in an uptrend. So even though we're trending higher, we're not in an uptrend. Uptrend is denoted as higher highs, higher lows. We can't get higher highs as the market is moving sideways. So from a market perspective, unemployment is out there, stimulus is out there for small businesses. There's a lot of things going on, but if I'm investing in the market as of right now, this is more of a trader's market than a trending market. As COVID-19 hit, that's a trending market to the downside. We started moving higher and now we've gone back into a little bit of a channel. All right, so that's where we sit as far as the market is concerned. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, if you're new to the software or would like refresher information about the software, click on this Getting Started video right here. Thanks to all of your input, here's a YouTube video that we think would be perfect for you. Click right here. If nothing else, folks, just hit the subscribe button right here.